Let's walk in like big badasses. That big should have kept you awake for ages.
There's military trains. You can just.
There's enough diabetes in there to diabetes a rhino.
You have to go through a checkpoint to drive into it, of course.
Yes, of course.
And they're like, "Oh, you were told you might be coming.
Yes.
You're signed in."
I've taken the black cloak off, by the way.
Yeah. You're asked to, before you go into the main building, there's like another checkpoint, and you're asked to basically relinquish any weapons.
Oh, sure. Here's my gun, my other gun, my other gun. Here is my grenades. I'm keeping the broken glass. They don't know about it. The powderized glass.
Your sword, sir.
What sword?
Do you not have that on you all the time?
Hmm?
Don't you have that with you all the time? Isn't that built into your...
Oh, that!
Yeah.
That's a problem. I'm gonna have to leave my whole armor here. How do they
Can you just take off the gauntlet?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay.
How do they even know about that? It should look like just like armor platings inside the thing.
You realise they've got X-ray scanners that are scanning you as you...
Yeah, so when the sword is like collapsed in there, it should just look like overlaying plates, like armor or something. I'm hoping that they would think. I don't know. I certainly think they should have to roll. Maybe.
It's a maximum security prison. You realise they're going to look.
They're going to be looking.
I mean, they succeed the roll, then they're just like, oh, and your sword, sir?
Yes, they do succeed the roll.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm going to have to actually leave my whole armor here. Because of the... See, you're like, can't you just take it up? No, because it's all tied with those cables and everything. It's all tied into the whole cable command system of the armor. So I got to take the whole thing off. So I'll just take off my armor and put it on a mannequin. Okay. They have to store armor, obviously.
Good thing you have that cloak.
Yeah, now I'll put on my black cloak.
Meanwhile, clunk.
Let's see, I've got my blackjack they don't know about, and my power
20-pound sniper rifle.
Like the Rottweilers, they probably would recognise those. They can stay in the bag. Right, I'm still well armed enough.
I do have questions here, though. I mean, isn't it... If we have a problem with the prisoners, aren't they just going to beat the shit out of us with biotics and we won't be able to defend ourselves?
I can turn off biotics.
All biotics are turned off within this facility.
To be fair...
That's expensive!
To be fair, you guys know why we're here, right? We're investigating a prisoner that's supposed to be here that isn't anymore.
We were not given the specifics, we were just given...
Also, we suspect one or more of you are colluding.
Yeah.
Was it a wise thing to actually admit to us?
No. I wanted to see your reactions, though.
Interesting.
I believe a warden awaits.
Yes. Straight down the hall, into the room. Into the corridor, sorry.
Off we go.
Still think it was kind of assholey to not leave us at least like one gun each.
You don't need guns. Your ultimate weapon is here. And here.
I think I need those built in.
I'm working on it.
There's a double sliding door basically set at the end of the hallway with warden written above it.
Ooh. I do that from my office. Low gain.
You go inside.
Yes. We want to meet the warden.
The warden's sitting behind
Is there anything we need to pay
desk
attention
with
to?
a big huge back chair for some reason.
Yes, of course.
Oh, this smells well.
Welcome to my precinct. How may I help you?
Warden...
Can I give you the name?
No.
Oh. Chikala.
Warden, we're interested in seeing Kyra Radan.
Kyra Radan, well. By the goddess, she came in a long time ago.
Few hundred years.
Indeed.
Bundled in by a bunch of Asari commandos.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, she has information we need.
Well, she's in maximum security at the end of the hall.
Well, I mean, just down the end of the hall. Could we go and just like...
You're going to need an escort.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Escort, no problem.
And it's 4 basically well-armored.
Jesus, how dangerous is this woman?
Well, this is just for that whole section in general.
4.
I'll be checking them out to see... checking them out because they're Asari, then to see what they're carrying. What kind of grade of weapon?
They're carrying... Oh, what's that? The Asari, what's it called? The same one you have, the assault rifle one.
Bishop,
Bishop.
Cardinal... The Bishop!
I can't remember if the Bishop was the pistol or the...
It is.
Deacon?
Deacon, that's the one.
Wow!
Deacons.
So
They've
they're
got the bishops on their hips as well, so...
So they're mil-spec.
Ooh, deacons. That's top drawer.
Yes, sir.
Helmets?
Yes.
Full face?
No, you can see, like, the...
And that's where I go for. Right, well, I believe 2 of you will lead on, while the other 2 will bring up the rear, correct?
You know your procedure.
I should.
Follow us.
After all, my great-grandfather wrote the book. As far as anyone knows, that's true.
Like the book you gave me?
Yes.
That'll lead you down there.
Right. I
Go through, like, 2 wings before...
am assessing them for, like, reactions to the conversation that we're about to have.
Okay.
Well, so, remember, this prisoner is still the daughter of an important matriarch, so a degree of respect will be required, human.
Yeah, well, I don't want to piss off anything that looks longer than I do.
So practically everything. Oh, you don't want to piss off Vorcha either. You haven't come across them yet?
No?
They're little bastards, is the best way of describing them. Well, smaller than a Krogan, they live for about 20 years or so, but they're basically made out of tough exteriors and vicious cunning. They're quick, agile, nasty, and immune to most forms of disease, toxin, and environment.
Smaller Turians?
I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. Not even a smirk? No.
They're just proficiently just marching down. Marching down. Like you don't exist. Well, not quite, but they're just not reacting to anything you say. They're acting like you're completely quiet.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's what I wanted to know. Eventually we get there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be checking out the state of other cells that we get to see and walk past.
You don't get to see that much because there's like little hatches to look
and this is where Kyra Radan is.
Yes, sir.
Do we just open the door?
There's a hatch on the door. You can look and talk through it to you.
Look in.
You see an Asari in a fairly sparse cell.
Hey, look over here.
She looks up.
Photograph. Comparison.
Spot check, I suppose.
Take 10.
Okay.
18.
Looks like her.
Looks just like her. That's bizarre. Facial markings the same? Oh, she wouldn't have any because she's in prison. I imagine they don't give you cosmetics to
She has... Oh, you hadn't got the photos yet from the matriarch. You would have by now. She would have sent you some photos from when she was younger. They match those facial markings.
Does she look like the same as an age-wise as the pictures? Or does she look like young her but older?
You would have to make a spot check for that. It would be very age.
Well, that's trash, so I'm useless.
He looks...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worse.
Worse than a 3.
It is. Oh, it's not worse. It's exactly the same as.
This is interesting.
What do you want?
What's your name?
Kyra Radan.
What's your real name?
Kyra Radan.
How do you explain that you were outside of prison 3 weeks ago?
I'm not. I've been in here for almost 300 years.
So, who are you then?
I told you, stop wasting what little time.
Wasting the time of someone who is literally incarcerated is impossible. You are here to waste time.
I have no reason to talk to you.
No, she didn't get to say all of that because I've shut the thing.
No. I have no reason to...
Wait. Well.
Send... Wait, is this IMCOM?
Sorry, is it...
Can I send these 2 images back to the ship?
No.
Where can I send 2 pictures back to my ship? From
outside
where?
of the prison, sir.
Send them to Trish and have her do an in-depth facial comparison. Also, send this picture that I just took of her to this matriarch and ask her who this is.
Right.
I'll be here. Off you go.
You could ask her about her crimes.
I'm planning to waste time doing that. You have degrees in biological science and etc., so you're a pretty smart person, right?
I would like to think so.
Yeah, this was not when you're in prison. What are your crimes?
I thought you would already know.
Maybe I do.
I don't see why I have to answer anything you can throw at me. I'm already in prison and you can't get to me.
I wouldn't be so sure of that, but... I'm not saying that. But I wouldn't be so sure of that if I were here.
So right now I have no incentive to answer any of your questions.
Okay. So what world were you arrested on by some commandos? Do you have a favorite animal? Why are you doing time for someone else? Do you care about what happened to your sister? Would you like me to say hi to your mother? Or your dad? How long have you been in here? I'm just filling in time till she gets back.
Well,
Continuous litany of pointless questions.
continuous silence.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
Well,
so you
I've got to take 2 of the guards and poodle back to the exterior, and then back to the car, and from the.
I mean, that's why they sent 4, was because what if you 2 want to split up
Yeah.
for some reason? They have to. So you get just clear of the prison, and then
I'll send those to Trish. Hi. Contact the ship. Hi, Trish. I have tasks for you from Logang.
oh, good.
Alright, he wants you should have received some photographs through the extranet, probably to Logain's address. He needs you to compare those to these and see if you can get some kind of relationship or age makeup, anything you can get from them.
I will see what I can do, but this isn't my area of expertise.
of course not, but you're supposed to be adaptable. Start adapting. I wish I'd sent you on another errand too. I need a medical scanner for my Omni-tool. And I need it now.
Well, I kind of chew at that until I come
No,
back.
exactly.
And then
And
you
you're
ask me
also
to...
sending the
Picture of the matriarch.
matriarch.
You should get a fairly immediate response from that.
You get a response from that faster than you get from Trish. The matriarch sends back something like, "It sure looks like her. When was this taken?" Question mark.
Just now.
Right this minute.
And then you get back this person is at least 100 years younger than my daughter, but it sure looks like her.
If Tiana was here, she'd have been able to tell that because she's a Sari. Right, that's what we need to know.
Right.
That's what I wanted my medical scanner for.
Mum.
That and cosmetic surgery
Yeah.
had detect. You've had it.
Okay, Mum on that. Back through. Hi, guys, I need to get back through to Loghain.
Of course, follow us. 10 minutes later, Rosa arrives.
What have you got to report? And also, I need you to go buy me a medical scanner for my Omni-tool.
Word from the matriarch herself. He says our picture is about 100 years out of date. Too young.
Did you hear that? Your mom says you're not you.
What will my mother know? She hasn't seen me for years.
Actually, she's seen you 5 minutes ago. Yeah, okay, so you don't have to tell us anything. Currently, we've just proved you're guilty of an even larger crime, impersonating a felon. I'm not really sure that's actually a crime.
Hell, you could be due to go free.
Oh, wait. No, I think we can also get them for complicity in a conspiracy for avoidance of sentence. Oh, see you later. The warden, please.
Of course, right this way.
So you girls wouldn't know anything about her being the wrong person, would you?
We don't know what you're talking about.
That's not her.
We're only in charge of security.
Ooh. That's not good.
Well, word from her mother says she's about 100 years too young.
Then I'd take that up with the local precinct and the warden.
Oh, we're about to. Just thought you might have known how someone would slip out of prison, or if they would have had to have been incarcerated wrongfully from the very start.
That is highly unlikely.
Either one. But yet, here we are.
You don't think Chump in the Cell actually thinks she is that person, do you?
It's entirely possible it could be a clone. Because I've seen human movies and know about clones. I mean, what if that genetic residue was some kind of bathtub-grown duplicate of herself? I know, weird, right?
It's pretty far out there, but...
I mean, she's a genetics expert. She's got labs all over the place with the Saurian tubes.
Maybe she was testing if one could get through a medical scan.
Anyway, eventually we'll get to the warden.
Found out what you were after?
Yeah. That's... You got the wrong prisoner.
Pardon?
That's not Kyra Redan. She's
course it's
100 years
Kyra
too
Redan.
young.
There's no way it could be anybody else but her. She's pretty much been in that room for last 200 to 300 years.
Well, then you have a problem. And I suggest you take it up with the matriarch, or the council. Because Kyra Redan has been Ilyana Zidana for at least a few months. She has in fact been spotted at several places not here, and is involved in numerous crimes related to exactly what she's an expert at. So, someone is telling porkies around here.
Porkies?
Porky pies, lies. It did Invictian rhyming slang.
Well, thank you for this information. I'll pass this on to
So how do you
the
think?
precinct.
How do you think someone ends up in a prison cell who isn't the person they're supposed to be? Someone who manages to fool the people at the prison and the precinct so well that they are completely taken for an actual convict. I wish I had a medical scanner.
Or maybe if they got switched on the way here before.
Who's in charge of that transfer, would you say?
What, you mean 250 odd years ago?
No, I mean the branch of service that would have been in charge back then.
Well, that would have been the local, not prison security.
Well, anyway, so someone's managed to arrange a replacement. It doesn't really matter when it happened or where, but now we know someone official has been taking money. So investigations can, of course, start looking into that. I think we have everything we need. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good luck.
See you later.
Farewell.
Leave. Step into my hour. It's not that quick.
You haven't got that whole thing set up yet.
And it wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, clunk.
Rearming, yeah. You're heading out, you can rearm again.
I saw through that. I'm going to have to add disguise to it. Now I know to do that. Interior design disguising. What a world we live in. Well, so the warden could possibly be in on it, and if so, we just dumped some information on there. So if there's a bunch of spasming elsewhere, we know who's complicit.
That, or maybe those Asari commandos could have been in on it.
250 years ago, why arrest her at all?
To get her off the books.
It's an interesting idea.
If there was already physical evidence of her crimes in a lab somewhere, and you needed her to disappear and assume another identity,
why not just bury the lab?
maybe not everybody on the unit was in on it.
Possible. It's all pointless speculation right now. We've got a bunch of things that Tiala needs to know anyway. So I guess we just wait to see if the police contact us about the doctor.
Or check the hospital.
Meanwhile, I go into town and buy a mid scanner because I needed one and didn't have one, and now I need to get one.
Oh.
How much will that cost me?
Let's see what they are. That's the book I want.
I'm already there.
I have too many copies of the same book, just from different versions.
Right. 5,600 for both DNA scan and health scan.
So they'll probably charge you initially around
Wait,
6.
I'm not done. Since I'm spending our money, not my money, I want at the same place, because if you order a lot, they're likely to give you a better thing. Discount. I also would like the system scan, allowing me to detect problems with software and hardware just by going whoop without having to spend a big chunk of time.
And how much does that one
It's
cost?
another 600 there. That's just book price.
Another 600.
Yeah. So 6,200 total on just book price.
Yeah. You initially get charged 7,500 would be the first. The initial.
7,500, bro. Is that here? I have to go back to the Citadel and get it. God. It would be even cheaper, including fuel. God. I guess I need them for the investigation, though. I mean, I'd hate for that murderer to get away with their crimes. I don't suppose you could knock it down a little bit, just for justice.
Yeah, well,
I should have actually rolled first because I might have been able to make a bit. Oh, god damn! 17.
Just on the dice? Or
That's all I get.
Oh.
7. I don't have a charisma. But it's for justice and it's Logain Centurious.
They'll go to 6-8.
Just get it knocked down another 600. I'd be at book price. Oh, I wish I was Tiala. I don't suppose you. 6-8 is it? That sure is tempting. I mean, I'd like to walk out of here with maybe something a little closer to 6-2 though. How about 6-2? Does that grab you as a? You know I'm not going to roll well again. You know it. 6-8 it is.
Well, how low was it? I mean, you might be able to
You can't get lower.
Oh, okay. You'll say you might have battled on 6-5, for instance. But
No. 6-8.
However, I mean, he would, before you necessarily, if you wanted to get 2, he'd do 2 for 1,200. 12,000, sorry.
Why would I need 2?
I don't
Who else
know.
in our team? 2 lots of everything?
Yeah.
System scan might be useful for the Quarian. Health and DNA scan are only useful to me though. That's no.
Well, if you wanted to fit the same thing into a different suit or something.
What's
It's
my
based on the
Omni
Omni-tool, so yeah.
Wait, weren't you going to look at possibly building a Logain bot?
In which case I would need all these programs duplicated, wouldn't I? Ah, that's a good point. Do I have to duplicate, or is it that remote tech thing that we were planning? Do I have to duplicate all my Omni-tool hardware on that, or do I route through it? Because it's still me making the rolls.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
because it's supposed to actually be a completely independent VI? So I think I have to duplicate the hardware I've got.
Some of it you will, because yeah.
But
You think it's
health
hard?
and DNA scan would not be part of that. Only systems scan would. And
You would have
toolkit.
to duplicate, I imagine, hardware but not software.
Yeah. Which
Because the
really
software
means
will be
all it
running
needs
manually.
is the recorder, the system scan, the toolkit. But I can use it on all of the evidence I just got because it won't disturb the evidence. Any DNA on there? Is there DNA on there?
On the evidence.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, on the can you got and some of the samples you got.
Right. I'm going to store that in my DNA database that I will now have as possible Godzilla monsters, Kyra Radan DNA.
Okay.
Possibly hers.
Okay, so you eventually get about 10 minutes after you've got that stuff installed and everything.
Here it comes.
You get
This is the tie I've been expecting.
you get a report from the commandant about what her people at the hospital discovered. Okay, so you discovered that the Dr. Delana Thanara, who
Examined.
who was reported to be the doctor that Helania Zadana went to see.
Yep. Doesn't exist.
It's not that. When the last reported visit was scheduled according to the information you gave her from the medical database, the Dr. Thorana was registered as having a day off and was replaced by a Dr. Arlia Rentif.
I wonder if Alia Rentif happens to look just like Radan.
Now, the thing that they discovered was that while Arlia Rentif is a regular member of the hospital who can perform a standard checkups and everything, she is
A cosmetic
a
surgeon?
cosmetic surgeon.
Yes! I knew it! Carry on, please.
She is currently under investigation.
Oh, what a surprise!
And so is the hospital administrator, because apparently they've discovered that Dr. Rentiff bribed the hospital administrator to give the runner the day off.
But are there any records? Do they need Loghain to come by and use his electronic magic to pull through deleted and altered files for them? Because I'm offering my service.
No. What about her offices?
That too. Everything.
So yeah, Dr. Rentiff saw Helania Zadana instead.
And that's where the surgically altered woman that I will undoubtedly be able to prove is not Radan came from in the prison. So it's recent, which means probably the warden is in on it. If he isn't, then one of his top security people is. Right, then I will want to send back to the warden. It's like, had to let warden know about suspicions. Warden seemed entirely too buttery. Could just be affectation. They speak like an old southern gentleman, which is completely out of place in this society where no one else talks like that.
That's me doing that.
Loghain adds, I got serious Shawshank Redemption vibes off of him.
Good. I'm glad that was...
Well, all I need is for you to do my taxes and you don't get reamed in the showers by Clancy Brown.
Loghain, what's a short shank?
A shard of glass with a leather belt wrapped around it, taped together. That is a short shank. You can keep it if you want. Yeah, so I'll also send back that if you need an expert systems decryptor, I offer my excellent services in going through any kind of computers that you might want to look for deleted or altered information relating to the event.
You get a response.
I'll give my Turian Marshall Academy accreditation rating too.
What they do, they unfortunately for you, they do send a response back fairly quickly. That's like we've basically got someone.
Yeah. No, I mean that's not unfortunately for me. It just means I'm going to have to wait for that someone to plebeian their way through it. Whereas Loghain is a fucking laser scalpel thanks to Ator leaving. No, I mean I've got all these fucking talents. I might as well fucking use them. So then, right. By any chance, also, Commandant, do you have Kyra Radan's DNA on file?
The forensic team would have that.
I know you're not going to send it to me.
They would have a digital version of it, I suppose.
I know you're not going to send the DNA pattern to me, but can you match it against this and tell me what it says?
Okay. She said she'll pass it on to the lab.
Right, I don't
Actually, what are you matching it to?
The can.
Oh, the can, okay.
The can DNA.
Yeah.
Like I said, I added that to my library of DNA that I have now. As Kyra Radan, question mark?
Yeah.
Because if it isn't, then either that's not her DNA, or someone's altered the file. I will also put along the thing there saying is like, if there's no match, you might want to check. Because someone's been helping her. Someone official has helped this woman.
Since you're doing it in a match, I suppose it's actually going to be fairly quick.
Yeah, given that I can do it in 6 actions.
As opposed to you doing a search for the DNA, you're literally comparing two. So you'll get back within a minute.
Yeah. Wow.
Match found. It looks. It's
question mark deleted. Okay. This I will send back. The DNA sample I sent you was taken from a can that is no more than 3 weeks old, no more than 4 weeks old, and therefore Kyra Radan has been out of prison in that time.
Okay.
Fact. Proof.
Okay.
Right there, got Cat Commander, which means there is someone in an official capacity in that prison who is Dodge. Probably not just someone. A couple. There's no... From my knowledge, would you say that I would say there's no way only one person on the inside could swap a prisoner?
Yes. I'm not going to make you roll.
Multiple. So I'm saying there's probably someone high up who has a couple of guards on the take at that prison who swapped this bitch over.
You will get a response back from the commandant that says, in order to, if everything you've given us checks out,
Which it will.
And your suspicions about the prisoner check out, then this is going to be. You would have to have somebody who's like one of the top 10 families on Lucia who would be behind this. There's somebody big behind this. You get that in a secured channel, like a very secured channel. Okay. You notice it's. Stand
by. We get in the cab and we go to see we go to see the matriarch.
Okay.
I'll call ahead and say, can we come by the office?
Because it's you guys and what you've already sent her so far and everything, you get back, I'll cancel my appointments.
We get there.
Okay.
Unless someone's going to crash into us and there's like this military op to bring us down, in which case we badass them to death. And except for the last one, and we're like, who sent you? And they're like, I'm not telling you anything. And then I'm like, who sent you? Or I give you to the human. And the human's like, I'm going to enjoy these, man. And then they tell us everything because they're terrified. They've heard what humans do to people.
Oh man, I almost got another ear.
Yeah. You don't have ears.
Yeah, you do. We'll dig one out. And then, like drenched in their blood, we advance on the mansion of the evil, corrupt lord who's behind all of this, and we get fucking wasted by their security, and eventually there's a one-on-one stand down on the balcony. Well, anyway.
Oh god, natural 20. Okay.
That happens.
No, but I'm rolling for something like how onto it and how onto it are the
bad guys.
You've got the police force that you've basically got help.
So we've lit a fire under their ass. Nice.
They are now aware.
So you're halfway, probably just past halfway up the elevator to the matriarchs, and you get a call from the commandant again.
Centurious.
We discovered that Helania, or Radan, Kyra, I should say, got a forged ID from a Volus forger named Fonpar.
Every 7 years! Every 7 years!
She changed her name to Lulia Benos.
Hang on. I've got too many notes everywhere, Stephen. I'm sorry. Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Info. Radan changed name by Vol Forger to Lulia.
Yeah. B''NOSS.
I think we already know that name. When?
No, it's
when? When did this happen?
It cost for 10,000 credits. This happened just over 2 weeks ago. So just over 3 weeks ago.
By any chance, did you also look into whether or not Lulia Benos left the planet?
Yes.
And do you know where she went?
She hired a small Asari transport and chartered a course for the Zenilia system. Zenilia.
Did she rent the thing and flew herself, or did she charter someone to fly her there?
She rented the ship and then took it there herself.
Oh, she rented a ship. That means she's probably not staying there long.
That means it also might not be the system she's really going to. I have an intuitive feeling that we should go back and get Tiala, which means Thessia first. By any chance, do you think that's really where she was going?
There's not much there.
Wait, it's a rental ship. Does it have a LoJack? Like a tracker that they put on rental ships in case people don't return them.
It would check the last mass relay it went through and But beyond that,
Can you get that? Can you get that information?
I'll see what I can
Just
do.
to see if it lines up with her established destination. Oh God, we're on the track. Thank you for the information.
Well, if it serves justice.
Yeah, meanwhile, there's no way in hell that... in the meantime, good luck with your investigation into the prison. Entaro Adun.
And then you exit on that. And you go to the matriarch's office.
Before we go in, don't stare. She's
Gotcha.
really hot.
What if you're like older Asari?
Be super professional. Well, as they get through each additional stage, they're
Yeah.
become...
Well, it'd be the first time I've seen a matriarch.
Matriarchs are incredibly powerful in both status and capabilities.
What kind of capabilities?
The kind that cause gravity to go 4 ways and your limbs to split off your body with a moment's thought.
I hear you now.
They are incredibly old and therefore have much experience, so if you think you can put one over on them, you are probably wrong.
They've done a really good job of duping you if you think you...
Okay, here we go.
Centurious?
Yes,
Enter.
my associate, Rover Robibes Santiago,
Pleased to meet you.
also a Sidewinder.
Just a moment. Lights go slightly dim. Room secure.
Okay. Someone, like an incredibly powerful Asari, somewhere, with a lot of pull, has popped your daughter out of prison recently. The police are probably going to tell you this at some point, I'm kind of hoping it isn't you, because otherwise we're really dead right now. Recently, plastic surgery was performed at the behest of a suspect doctor. This coincides with a medical file we obtained, don't ask me how, that indicates that one of the cover names your daughter uses was in for a checkup. I believe this is when the person occupying the cell was altered and placed there. You said the picture looked 100 years younger. I believe that person will not pass a DNA scan, given that this can, in evidence baggy, contains fingerprints and DNA traces, which, when run against the Lucia DNA library, match your daughter's. Unless those prints have been altered, indicating an almost global conspiracy, which is a little unlikely, that indicates that your daughter has in fact been out of prison within the last 1 month. I hate to tell you this,
Interesting, but I found some information that might indicate that she's been out for a lot longer than that.
Actually, I know she's been out a lot longer because the same person has interacted with an associate of mine for about 50 years ago. It's entirely also possible that the plastic surgery was performed on her to alter her appearance yet further.
Yes, because if Kara was also Helania Zadana,
Yes?
who was also Dr. Nwazina Malola.
That's the name you never
That's
heard.
yes, you,
No, we've heard Malola.
that's
Yes.
the original
Yes,
picture.
who is involved in a conspiracy to implicate one of my associates in crime.
And if she has always been Dr. Malola, then my daughter couldn't have been in prison for more than 50 to 60 years before she was taken out by somebody and assumed that identity.
Which means plastic surgery was almost certainly performed on her to alter her appearance yet again to avoid capture. I really need to get into those computers. Which indicates that we may be looking at staff from the prison who are no longer there. Do you mind if I pass this particular information you've dug up along to the commandant of the local security?
By all means.
Log Omni told to broadcast that when leave clear zone. Because it can't do it now.
Yes.
I'm smart enough to just log it for later. I'm sorry to have to bring this information to you. I know it can be distressing when one of your own goes horribly wrong.
Well, I tried to put it behind me, but it just keeps coming back.
And this is my fault as well. Again, I apologize. But
meanwhile, I'm going to go from attention behind Loghain to wander, because she has an office with a window in it, right?
Yep.
I'm going to go to the window and just start watching to see if I can spot anybody that's watching the office.
Like anybody on a rooftop or in a neighboring
rooftop,
office.
Hovering car.
Hover car, yeah.
Be scrupulous. Take 20.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've got the entire time you're sitting there having the conversation to just look for...
We have also uncovered some interesting biological componentry I'll be passing on to a Chris research scientist I know. Hopefully they can identify what it is. I suspect it may have some...
They're largely archaeologists and not biologists.
They've got contacts in other areas, and so they've been able to open doors for me that otherwise are closed. I can gain access to a surprising array of expertise through them.
Loghain, I've got 2 months worth of their security footage to see who's entered and left those facilities.
Oh,
It'll
nice.
take a while to review.
And we can pass the results on. That'll be something Crane can do. He's got good eyes, and solipsism is his ally. He can literally become a photo record of everything.
He would be able to recognise all their faces, and then if you passed one on the street, he'd be able to go, "That's the one."
Yeah, because it would trigger his memory. So that can be something that Kane can do. With his perfect Drell memory, he'll be able to make a record of anyone that's pertinent, and therefore a great asset to us. And we can pass the results on to the local security and CSEC.
Pass the savings on to them.
Man, this mission turned up way more than I thought it would. I thought we were going to be like, we got no questions to ask. With no authority. What do we do here?
The thing is...
5 hours later, we're still going.
Well, to be fair, they probably think the two of them that have the best forensics, so...
Oh, I think I'm the only person who has... Until Tiala gets forensic science skill up there, I'm the only person who has any kind of fucking...
Well, I did forensics training, I'm just not very good at it.
Loghain doesn't know you have that. You haven't mentioned it. You could have brought this up sooner.
Well...
Or at
he
all.
He doesn't have something to roll, he's just been learning it, but he never finished...
I mean, still your insights would have been handy.
Yeah, well, that's what she was doing when she's standing alone thinking in the dark. Well, what can I tell Loghain to look at? Because I can't see it.
We checked her tampons. Sorry, don't do that. What? They're perfect.
One wonders why they even have a toilet.
Well, I mean...
They just have the 3
They could have a guest. Then I checked the 3 seashells for DNA scrapings from the flaps. I see. Well, it'll... Does the Xenilia system ring a bell to you?
Xenilia system. I believe that's in the Anguistia cluster, but I don't know.
How far away do you think that is?
It's in Asari space.
Ah. Well, well, now we get to an awkward question. So, Zelina Vari, you're no longer together, correct?
That's correct.
If you think it is in any way relevant or pertinent, why would that be?
I don't think it relates to our daughters. We just had a difference of political opinion a few centuries back.
So I'm sorry, sometimes the sheer scale of your lifetimes takes me by surprise.
Did you end up getting in contact with her?
I didn't actually get around to trying. I was a bit distracted with the everything. The reason I ask is because a reasonably powerful family with a lot of connections must be involved. We're talking, what was the quote, top 10 in Lucia? And your former partner happens to be in that list. There is a potential they could be involved, maybe, perhaps. Just saying. There's a potential you could be involved, just saying.
I'd like to say I don't think so, but...
They really got on well with that daughter?
Well, I was going to say I wouldn't have expected it from my daughter in the first place, so...
Anyway, that's probably best left to security to investigate, but I'm sure they can use any help you can bring their way. You know how investigations tend to stall when they start looking at the rich and powerful.
Bad luck.
What was that?
Oh, whether she would remember something that might help you out, but she got a critical one, so there's no way she's gonna, unfortunately.
You got a strange look just passed across your face there. What was that all about?
No, she doesn't. It doesn't even occur to her. Not with a one. It's just...
Dang. So I'm sure they could use whatever backing a counselor could bring in that investigation. As I'm sure it's only been able to remain so under the table thus far because of the power of whoever's orchestrating this.
I was lucky to be able to remain a counselor after the whole thing with her in the first place.
This also happened to a former captain of the Destiny Ascension.
Yes, I believe what was her name?
D'Avo.
Yes, that's the one. Alayla D'Avo was the captain of the Destiny Ascension back then.
Your estranged daughter has implicated her daughter in wrongdoings. I have established to my satisfaction that she is innocent of those crimes, but it's nothing I can put before a court.
Okay. You get the opposite of bad luck.
Yeah.
Nat 20?
Yes.
Okay. No gaining things.
Oh, he's name dropped.
If I recall correctly, Kyra was quite close with the matriarch, Alayla.
They served on the Ascension at the same time.
Well, the matriarch was the captain of the Ascension at the time, and she became chief medical officer. She apparently worked really hard to get the position.
Quite close as in... How old is Tiala?
Between 200 and 300 years old.
How close would you say? Like, embrace eternity close?
Possibly.
My character is going to do this.
Boss, she's not.
Best not to speculate.
Right.
Can I stop shaking? Yes.
Oh, okay. Are you intimating that my daughter
We don't know who the father is. Father.
is your Tiala's
The
father?
ages are within a window. She's 200 to 300 years old. They were very close, possibly a Brace Eternity close. She's a pureblood as well. Continuing the Fine Diavo tradition. I think I need to talk with a former captain.
Wait.
Because that would be disturbing.
Another natural 20. Actually, I do believe before my daughter was arrested on the Destiny Ascension. Yes, I think several months ago the matriarch did give birth to a daughter.
But best not to jump to conclusions. Best not to. This is disturbing you.
Is there any sort of medical scanner way we could check that?
I could do a comparative DNA scan. If it's close enough, it might do something. But then again, they don't work that way. Sorry, don't work that way. You don't blend DNA.
You're basically implying that I am Tiala's grandmother.
It's
the vein of the conversation.
I'm not implying it. I think it may be a possibility. It's a coincidence of times and results. Is this the thing? I'm not really sure. You could have another relative you don't know about. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if there are any tests that can be performed. I'm not an expert.
Well, best of luck.
Anyway, we're on the trail. We'll keep you in the information loop from our end anyway. Thank you for your time and deeply disturbing revelations.
Yes, good luck. Once you left the room, you get information from the commandant that verifies that the last reported signal that was from the ship was from that system.
Correlation.
So there's no reports that it's gone anywhere out.
Do you want to spend the night here, or should we immediately go back to the ship?
Well, there was the promise. No, it's Rosa. There was the promise of that nightclub, but we don't really need to find out anything else. And this Asari rejection, she moves fast.
Very fast. Right. I'll construct the cab to head towards the docking station. I'll call the commandant on my tool.
Okay.
Yes, this is Logan, which you know because we've concluded our investigations here and have a lead leading us off the planet, so we're going to try and chase it down. I'm making a stop in Thessia because it's a very short distance away. And then we're heading off to collect my associate and head after this person. I would like, if there's anything we can do to help your investigations, or you would like us to delay it for any reason, just say so. If you have any further evidence you haven't given us, I would appreciate it. Divert cab to his office, end call, walk in. This can with her DNA on it. One of the samples of the thing, the biological thing, we don't know what it is, there. Pictures of a terminal she removed, obviously because she doesn't want anyone backtracing information. Don't ask how I got these.
Oh, by the time you got there, she too would have, here's an image of what she looks like now with the
You got it off the system, did you? Nice.
The rental place had a...
Save. Add to file. Request image from Ken
She's
later.
put more effort into changing her appearance.
So she actually looks like a completely different woman now.
Yeah.
Send image to matriarch. By the way, she looks like this now. Bundle all my information up, including my notes and observations. Send them... Store them on the ship. Create a message around it like Tiala. Have found information. The code that will unscramble this is the name of the man who took that old building off our hands recently. Then I will fractally encrypt this fuck, and then encrypt the encrypted message, So his name will be the password that opens it all. Will be the decode key. So that fucking Q from James Bond can't open this. And then I'm going to ball it up again. And then I'm going to send it to Tiala. If she can't work out the name, then she can't. I'll have to get into that for her, because she ain't doing it. And in fact, no, I can't do that yet because we haven't duplicated the sign signatures. Never mind. Then I'm going to request permission to leave.
It's granted.
And I'm going to head to Thessia.
Yeah.
To Thessia.
Yeah.
To Thessia.
Yeah.
To